Hi guys, in this video, we're gonna tackle about the official rules of softball. First, we're gonna tackle the rule 1 to rule 4. So let's start. First, we're gonna tackle is the rule 1, which is the definition. In this section, first is the alter bat. Alter bat is when the physical structure of a legal bat has been changed. And for example is yung pag-exchange ng handle for a metal or a wooden, and then inserting a material inside the bat and applying excessive tape, or for a grip, no, sa grip ng bat may nilagay kang painting or other purposes sa yung bat, no. It's that which is nakapaloob sa alter bat. Section 2, which is appeal play. A live or dead ball appeal is a play or situation on which an umpire cannot make a decision unless requested by a manager, coach, or player of the non-offending team. Note for this, a coach or manager may only make a dead ball by a field and after stepping on the playing field. Next is section 4, which is ball coefficient, which is restitution of a softball when measured with the ACTM, again, no, the American Society for Testing of Materials. This tested method for measuring the coefficient of restitution of a softball. Next is section is baseline. Ang baseline is yung line between bases. Nasa picture po. Next is base of balls or base on balls, which is a base on balls occurs when a pitcher judged or by the plate umpire to be balls including illegal pitches. The batter is awarded first base, and this is sometimes referred to a walk. Section 7, which is base path. Base path is a direct line between base and runner's position. At the same time, this defensive player is sometimes think to tag a runner. Section 8 is batted ball. A batted ball is any ball that hits the bat or hits the bat and lands either in fail or foul territory. No intention to hit that the ball necessary. And section 9, which is the batter. The batter is an offensive player and who enters the batter's box with the intention of aiding his team to score 2 runs, and he continues to be batter until he is either declared out by the umpire or he's become a batter runner. Then is yung batter's box. The batter's box is the area to which the batter is restricted while in position with the intention of helping his team to obtain runs. Yan yung box na inapakan ng ating mga players, no, in Tagalog. Section 11 is the batter's runner. A batter runner is a player who finished to a turn a bat but has not yet put on your touch first base. Section 10 is the batting order. Ang batting order is the official listing of offensive players in order to which members of that team must come to bat. Ang batter's orders, no, is nung nakalista na ang mga player na nakapila na magpunta sa batter's area, which na sila yung magbats ng bola. Section 13 is the black ball. A black ball is a batted, thrown, or pitched ball become lodged in facing or in touch. Simply we explain na we simply touch the ball and run. That's the idea. Section 14, bump. A bump is a battered ball not swung or but intentionally met with a ball or tapped slowly within the playing field. Ang bump naman, ang pinakaiba sa block is nung bump is simply touch the ball with his bats. That's the technique, one of the technique of the players. Section 15, catch, the simplest catch, no? A catch is a illegal caught ball which occurs when the fielder catches the battered or thrown ball with his hands or gloves. Yan yung ano, no, yung mga catchers, yan yung sumasalo ng bola ng mga batters. Makasalo sila ng bola, ang ating mga batters is ma-eliminate sa game na yun, no? At continue naman ang game antod tapos ang ilang turn. Next is section 16, catcher's box. The catcher's box is the area within the catchers must remain until, if only, the pitch is released. The lines are to be considered within catcher's box, and also the pitch ball is batted to touch the ground or plate or batters or reaches the catcher's box. Ang catcher's box is yung doon lang sa restricted na kung di pa na-pitch ang bola, bawal siyang lumabas doon. Section 17 is charge conference. A charge conference is take place when a offensive conference or offensive team requests a suspension or play or delays plays to allow the manager or other team representative to confer with any member of their team. And defensive conference is the defensive team requests a suspension or play to allow a representative of the defensive team to enter the playing field to communicate with any defensive. I communicate the umpire reasons to believe that he received the instructions. A chop ball is one of which the batter strikes downward with a chopping motion of the bat so that the ball bounces in the air. One of the techniques of the batters. Section 19, which is the coach. A coach is a person who is responsible for the team's action on the field, and he represents the team in communicating the umpire and the opposing team, and one of the minds of the team. Section 20, which is the crow hop. A crow hop is a define of the act of the pitchers does not push off from the pitcher's plate to deliver the ball, and this is an illegal act. And section 21 a dead ball. A dead ball is one of that touches any object that's not part of the official equipment or official playing area or a player's person not engaged in the game, or lodged in umpire's gear in an offensive player's clothing, or umpires has ruled dead. Next is the section 22, the defensive team. The defensive team is the team that in the field, or either the catchers of the offensive teams. Section 23, the delayed dead ball. A delayed dead ball is a game situation in which the ball remains alive until the conclusion of the play, and when the entire team is completed, if required, the umpire shall rule a dead ball and enforce the appropriate ruling. Section 24, which is the designated player. The designated player is a starting offensive player who has bats in the line of the flex player and listed in the 10th position of the line-up card. And section 25 is the dislodged base. The dislodged base is a base displaced from the proper position. And section 26 is the double play. The double play is a play by defense in which two offensive players are legally put out as a result of a continuation of actions. And the section 27 is the dugout. The dugout is an area in a dead ball territory designated for players, coaches, bat boys or girls, and officially representative of the team only. and this shall be no smoking in the area. Ito yung ito po yung area na doon sila nagpapahinga ang mga player nila ng mga. And next is the section 28, injection from the game. Injection in the act of the umpire, ordering a player, officially or any team member to leave the game in the grounds or for rule violation for the remaining of the game. Ito yung violation na kung may nakomit yung player na masama sa kanyang kapwa player. Section 29 is the fair ball. A fair ball is a legally batted ball which settles or touches over territory between home and first base or between home and third base. Bounce past first or third base on over fair territory regardless of where the ball hits after going over the base. Section 31 is the fake tag. The fake tag is a form of obstruction of a runner while advancing on returning to a base by a fielder who is not in possession of the ball. That impedes the progress of the runner, and the runner does not have to stop or slide, merely slowing down the fake tag and simulated would constitute obstruction. The Section 32 is the fielder. A fielder is any defensive player on the team on the field. Sila yung sumasalo ng bola ng ating mga offensive player. Section 33, a fly ball. A fly ball is any ball batted into the air. Itong fly ball, ito yung kapag binatted ng ating batter ang bola, lilipad sa ere na hindi pa na bounce sa lupa, that is called fly ball. Fly ball. Section 34 is a flex player. The flex player is the starting player for whom the designated player is batting in whose name appears in the 10th position of the line-up card. Section 35 is the force out. A force out is an out which can be made only when a runner loses the right for the base in which he is occupying because the batters become the batter runner. And before the batter runner or succeeding, the runner has been put out. Itong force out kasi kapag ng ating batter natamaan niya yung bola, magiging siya batter runner at pupunta siya sa base first base, at yung ating ating runner na isa ay mag-occupy na naman sa isang base. That's all. And the section 36 is the forfeit. A forfeit is the act of plate umpire ruling the game is over, declaring the non-offending team a winner. And the section 37 is the foul ball. A foul ball is a legally batted ball which settles on foul territory between home and first base on between home and third base. Also, bounce past first and third or over foul territory, or first touches on foul territory beyond first or third base. Noted, a foul fly shall be judged according to the relative position of the ball and the foul line, including the foul pole, and not as the whether the fielder in out or foul in territory at time of touching the ball. Next is the section 38, which is the foul territory. A foul territory is any part of playing field that's not included in fair territory. And the section 39 is the foul tip. A foul tip is a batted ball which goes directly from the bat to the catcher's hands and goes not higher than the batter's head, is illegally caught by a catcher. It's a tip para sa mga catchers natin. Noted dito, it is not a foul tip usually caught if any foul tip that is not caught in a strike, in a spot pitch rather, the ball is in place. In slow pitch, the ball is dead, and it's not catch, it's a round rebound, unless the ball is the touch of the catcher's hands or gloves. Section 40 is the helmet. Ito ang pinaka-importante sa baseball or softball natin, no? A helmet have two ear flaps, one of each side, and shall be type of has safety features equally to or greater than those provided by the full plastic cap with padding on inside. A liner covering the ears only does not meet the rule of specification, and worm die catchers may be the skull type without the ear flaps, and worm by a defensive player does not need to ear flaps. Ito ang isa sa pinaka-importante na bagay sa ating mga manlalaro, kasi hindi natin alam ang mangyayari sa isang game kung kasi baka matamaan ng ulo. Mas mabuti pong may helmet. Section 41 is the home team. The home team is the team on whose grounds the game is played, or the game is played on the neutral ground. The home team shall be designated for mutual agreement or by a flip of a coin, and the home team shall take the third base dugout na place defense. Itong home team, itong pasimula ng ating laro, no, may sila, no, na mag-flip of coin kung sinong mauna sa kanila na mag-runner or mag-defensive, or rather offensive and defensive. Section 42 is the illegal bat. Ito, an illegal bat is one of the does not meet the requirements of the Rule 3 or Section 1. Itong illegal bat, no, tinakay natin to kanina, no, na battle bat na bawal gamitin, bawal lagdagan ang isang bat ng mga excessive tape o mga pabigat para lang manalo sa laban. The Section 43 is the illegal extra players. An illegal extra players who violates any provision of the Rule 4 or Section 6. Itong illegal extra players kasi, no, it's the term na illegal kasi, no, kay may ang isang team kasi may designated na mga players na bawal dagdagan ng isa pa because against the rule of the game. Section 44 is the illegal pitcher. An illegal pitcher is a player legally in a game, but who may not pitch as a result of being removed from the pitching position by the umpire as a result of defensive charge, conference limit being excessive, or being removed from pitching position by the umpire as a result of pitching with excessive speed after a warning. Itong illegal pitching, no, if the player is not, hindi niya align tong pag-pitch ng bola, bawal siyang mag-pitch ng bola. If the player is have a couple of warning na excessive speeds or pagtapo ng bola ng marahas, ay matatanggal siya sa isang laro. Next is the Section 45 is the illegal player. An illegal player is a player who takes a position in the line either on offense or a defense was not reported to the plate umpire. A player and moreover, a player who has take a position of offense and defense who does not a legal right to the position. Itong illegal player na naman, if ang isang player ay hindi nag-report sa isang umpire na pupunta siya sa offense or defense, ay that's an illegal player. And also, ang isang player ay hindi siya offense, nagpunta siya sa defense, that's called also an illegal position. Section 46 is the illegal re-entry. An illegal re-entry occurs when an starting player returns to the game a second time, after which being substitute. A starting player returns to the game after being substitute but not in his original position is called illegal re-entry. And section 47 is the illegal substitute. An illegal substitute is a player who has entered the game without being announced in the umpire. And a replacement or player remains in the game and announced in substitute for a withdrawn player who has not returned to the game within the time permitted to the provision of the replacement of the rule. That's called illegal substitute. Section 48, illegal batted ball. An illegal batted ball occurs when the batter hits the ball fair or foul, while his entire foot is completely out of the batter's box on the ground when he makes contact with the ball, while any parts of the batter's foot touching home plate when he makes contact with the ball, while containing the ball an illegal non-approved alter. Section 49 is illegal caught ball. An illegal caught ball occurs when a fielder catches a batted or thrown or pitched ball with his cap or mask or glove or any part of his uniform is detached from his proper place. Itong illegal caught ball is yung ating fielder is ginamit niya sa pagsalo ng bola is yung cap niya or mask or glove or use uniform when he's detached in his proper place. In section 50 rather, ineligible player. An ineligible player is a player who may no longer legally participate in a game because an umpire removed him. An ineligible player no longer participate as a player but may continue in the game as a coach. Itong ineligible player, kadalasang dito na nangyayari sa mga age ng isang player. Section 51, ineligible replacement player. An ineligible replacement player is a player who may not enter the game to replace a player, but who must leave the game to attend to an injury that has caused bleeding. An ineligible replacement player is one who has been removed from the game, but the umpire for a violation of the rule and is not the current lineup. In the section 52 is the in-flight. In-flight describes any batted, thrown, or pitched ball that has not yet touched the ground or some object in the field. Itong in-flight, itong ay isang bola na tinapon or binated na hindi pa natatouch sa ground. In the section 53 is the jeopardy. In jeopardy is a term indicating that the ball is in play and an offensive player must be put out. In the section 54 is the infield. The infield is the portion of the field is fair territory that includes area normally by infielders. Section 55 is the infielder. An infielder is the defensive player including the pitchers and the catchers, and who is generally positioned anywhere near or between lines on a base path forming fair territory, or a player who normally plays in the outfield may be considering an infield or moves in the area normally covered by the infielders. Ang infielders, sila yung mga defensive player na intended sila na i-catch ang bola para hindi makascore yung offensive player para malimit ang kanilang scores. In section 56, the Infield Fly. An infield fly is a fair fly ball that can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort with his first and second or third base are occupied before two are out. The pitcher or catcher or any outfielder that position himself in the infield on the play or shall be considered infielders for the purpose of the rule. Itong infield fly daw is yung isang infield na kuha niyang bola na walang effort no na sa isang laro. In the section 57 is the inning. The inning is the portion of the game within which the teams alternate or offense or defense, in which there are 3 out of each team. A new inning begins immediately after final or out previous inning. In section 58, intentional base on balls. An intentional base on balls occurs when the defensive team desires to place the batter or first base without a requirement for the deliver for a pitch ball. And this is referred to an intentional walk to the ball is dead. Section 59 is the intentional drop fly ball. An intentional drop fly ball is a pair fly ball including the line drive or a bump with a less than 2 outs of runner or first base, which can be caught an infielder of any ordinary effort. Section 60 is the interference. The interference is the act of an offensive player or team member in the impedes or hinders or confuses a defensive player or attempting to execute a play. An umpire who impedes a catcher's attempt to throw out of a runner is the based. An umpire of runner or a runner being hit with a fair batted ball prior to passing any infielder, including the pitchers. In section 61 is the leaping. Leaping is the act of pitchers that causes him to be airborne on his initial move to push from the pitcher's plate. The momentum to build by the forward movement of the pitchers cause the entire body, including the both pivot or stepping or non-pivot foot, to be in the air in the same time in moving towards home plate. In the section 62 is the legal touch. A legal touch is that action of fielder is touching or tagging a batter runner who is taking contact with the base with the ball is clearly held in his hands or glove. And section 63 is the legally caught ball. An illegally caught ball occurs when a fielder catches a baited, thrown, or pitch ball provided in caught fielders in cap or protectors or pockets on other his uniforms. It must be firmly held in the hands or glove. Itong legally caught ball is kapag ang isang fielder ay ginamit ang kanyang helmet, mask, or pocket sa pagsalo ng bola, is that called legally caught ball. Ang dapat lang sumalo ng bola is yung hand or glove. In section 64 is the line drive. A line drive is a ball in flight that is batted sharply and directly into the playing field. Line-up and the line-up card. A line-up is the list of players who are currently involved playing in an offensive or defensive position in a game. And the line-up card will contain the last name or first name, position in the uniform number of the starting player in the line-up. Itong line-up, ito yung mga player, priority players ng isang team. Ang line-up card naman is yung contain niya yung numbers ng player, kanilang apelyido or name sa ilang uniform. In the section 66 is the obstructions. Obstructions is the act of defensive player or team member who hinders to or prevent the batter from striking or any hitting pitch ball. A fielder who impedes the progress of a runner or a batter who is legally running in a base. while not in possession of the ball or not in the act of fielding the batted ball. Itong obstruction is isang defensive player or any team is prevent niya ang batter na mag-strike ng or pitch ng isang bola. Section 67 is the offensive player only. An offensive player only is the player is the batting order under the flex or for whom the DP or playing defensive or the continuous play on the offense but not on the play defense. Itong offensive players is kung anong rule nila sa isang laro na which is yung offense lang talaga sila. Hindi pwede silang pumunta sa defense line. In the section 68 is the offensive team. In the offensive team is the team at the bat. Itong offensive team sila yung nagabat ng bola or nagbibigay ng panalo rather or lahat naman magpanalo ng isang team but sila ang mas priority sa isang team. 69 which is the official equipment. Ang official equipment ay ito ang yung bats, gloves, helmets. By the offensive player ang ginagamit nila is yung gloves or helmet and a bat, which in the defensive naman na team is ginagamit nila yung glove and the helmet. In the section 70 is the on-deck batter. The on-deck batter is the offensive player whose name follows the name of the batter's batting order. In the section 71 is the on-deck circle. The on-deck circle is the area where the on-deck batter may warm up or takes practice swing after while waiting his turn into the batter's box. Itong on-deck circles, ito yung lugar na mag-warm up muna ang isang player bago siya pumunta sa batter's box. In the section 72 is the 1 meter line. 1 meter line or 3 foot line is the area, the last half distance between home or first base, where the batter's runner must run to avoid being called out when interfering thrown ball from the plate area. In the section 73 is the option play. An option play is a play which the offensive or coach manager is given choice of taking the enforcement of an illegal action or result of play, such as catcher's obstructions, use of illegal glove, an illegal substitution, or an illegal pitch, or an illegal pitcher's return in the pitching. In the section 74, which is the outfield. Outfield is the portion of the field that is included outside the diamond formed from the baseline. The area not normally covered with the infielder within lines beyond first and third base in the boundaries. Itong outfield, ito yung line na hindi siya sakop ng diamond area. Ito yung mga ground ng infielder or outfielder rather. In section 75 is the overslide. An overslide is the act of offensive player when a runner he is overslide a base and he is attempting to reach it, usually cause when his momentum causes his to lose contact with the base. Itong overslides rather ay ginagamit ng offensive player para mag-rush sa isang base para ang momentum niya is diretso lang na walang hindrance. Mas mabilis ang pagtakbo niya. Mas effective yung overslide. Section 76 is the overthrow. An overthrow is a play which the ball is thrown from the fielder to another, resulting in the ball going beyond the boundary is the playing field or becoming block. Ang overthrow is yung yung bola na from the fielder to another, resulting to the becoming block. The section 77 is the fastball. A fastball is the pitch that should have been held or controlled by the catchers with ordinary efforts. Yung fastballs, no, yung tinatawag ng fastball is yung controlled ng catchers sa isang bola. Sa section 78 is yung pitch. A pitch is the act of perform a pitcher delivering the ball to the batter. Itong pitch ay maraming variant na may techniques nila para maiwasan nila ang matamaan ng kanilang bola. That's called pitch. In the section 79 is the pitcher's circle. The pitcher's circle is the area within 2.44 meter or 8 feet. On the pitcher's plate, the lines are considered within the circle. Itong pitcher's circle is yung area lang ng pitchers na dyan lang siya naglilimit ang kanyang area. Section 80 is the pivot foot. The pivot foot is the foot that which the pitcher pushes or the pitcher's plate. Itong pivot foot ay ginagamit ng isang pitcher sa pagbigay ng momentum sa kanyang pagtira ng isang sa bola. At ang pivot foot ay ang pitcher's must remain in contact with the pitcher's plate until his pitch ball is released. Mas importante po tong pivot foot na aralin ng isang pitchers kasi dito siya na kumukuha ng momentum at power sa isang pagtira ng isang bola. So, it's the section 81 naman tayo, which is the play ball. The play ball is the term used for the plate umpire to indicate that play shall be begin or be resumed. When the pitcher holds the ball and within the pitcher's circle, if in a near pitcher's plate, all defensive players must be in fair territory to put the ball in play. In section 82 which is the pregame meeting. The pregame meeting is a meeting held at the home plate area at a pregame determined time before the umpires is the head coach or manager's team, representatives or respective teams. Itong pregame meeting, ito yung dito makikita yung mga tactics nila sa isang laro. Ito may galaw sila, paano nila execute na tinuturo ng coach naman nila para maka-score sa isang laro. In section 83 is the protest. A protest is an action of the defensive or offensive team objecting to interpretation of application playing rule by umpire or eligibility or a team roster member. Ang protest daw is action of the defensive or offensive team na mag-interpret ng isang playing rule by umpire. For some instances kasi na hindi nakaligtaan ng isang umpire na tawagan o hindi nakita isang play, that's the time na mag-protest isang member ng isang roster. In the section 84 is the quick return pitch. A quick return pitch is the one made by the pitchers with the obvious attempt to catch the batters off balance. This would be before or batters his desired position in the batter's box or while he is in a balance of result of previous pitch. Itong quick return pitch is kadalasang makita ko dito sa mga fielder na magaling mag-return ng pitch sa isang catcher or sa pitcher. And the section 85 is the re-entry. Re-entry is the act of any starting players returning to the game after being legally or illegally substitute. Simply, we describe is the pumasok. Bago pumasok ang isang player ay magpunta muna sa umpire, no? For act of any return to the game. In the section 86 is the removal of the game. Removal of the game is the act of the umpire declaring a player or ineligible for further participation in the game other than as a coach as a result of infraction of the rules. And the section 87 is the replacement of the player. Replacement of player is a player required for the enter to the game in defined period to time place. A player must be leave the game attempt to the injury that causing bleeding. In the section 88 is the runner. A runner is a player who obtain or at bat who finish the turn of the bat, reaches the first base, and has not yet been put out. Itong runner is yung bago sa maging runner, nagiging ano na siya muna, batter. Matamaan niyang bola, magiging runner na siya at pupunta sa first base. In section 89 is the slap hit. A slap hit is the battered ball that has been struck with a controlled short chopping motion rather than full swing. The most common types of slap is the batter takes. Itong slap hit is may similarity sa chopping motion pero mas sloppy lang po siya pag-execute. Mas ang bola is mas nasa kilid lang or sa in front lang ng isang batter. Ito isang tactic din ng isang batter sa isang laro. Section 90, quiz play. The quiz play is the play which offensive team with a runner or third base attempts to score that runner by means of batter contacting the ball. Ang quiz play is isang nilalaro ng isang offensive team na may control siya sa pag-attempts na pumunta sa third or fourth base na may tactics na ginagawa rather. The starting players. Starting players are the players listed on the official lineup of the umpires game. Itong mga players nito ay ito yung mukha ng isang team. Section 92 is the stealing. Itong stealing naman ay if the runner attempting to go to the other base to execute or to give chance na makakuha ng isang score sa isang laro. Section 93 is the strike zone. The strike zone is the space over any home plate between the batter's armpits and the top of his knees with his assumed to be natural being batting stance. In the section 94 is the substitute. Itong substitute naman is yung non-official first lineup na sila yung mag-replace ng isang player na injured or nagpapahinga. Section 95 is the tagging up. Tagging up is the action of runner turning to his base of remaining of his base before the legal advance of the batted fly ball of his touch by infielder. In the section 96 team member, a team member includes any person authorized to sit in the team bench. Yes, team member is the team na nasa kasama niya ang coaches and staff sa isang laro. In section 97 is the temporary runner. The temporary runner is the player who may run in the catches and record from the preceding inning who is now with 2 outs. Section 98 is throw. Throw is the act performed by a fielder when throwing the ball to another fielder. Itong throw is when the fielder not catching the ball, may chance pa siya na ibigay ang bola sa isang or sa kasama niyang fielder rin na mas malapit sa opposing team. In the section 99 is the time. Time is a term used by the umpire to other suspension of the play during which the ball is dead. Section 100, Choppe Ball. Choppe Ball is a legally batted fly ball or line drive that hits the ground or a fence prior to be caught, or legally batted ball fly in the against fence with a glove or bare hand. Section 101, Triple Play. A triple play continuous action play by the defense on which 3 offensive players are put out. Turn at bat. Turn at bat begins when a player first enters the batter's box and continues until the batter is put out and become batter's runner. Wild pitch. A wild pitch is a so high, so low, or wide of plate on the catcher cannot or does not stop or control with any effort. Wild throw. Wild throw is the play when the ball thrown from the fielder to another and cannot be caught or controlled in a block or remain in play. And lastly, is the 105 withdraw player. A withdraw player is a player forced to leave in the game or line up in accordance with the replacement of the ruling. So, let's continue our topic, which is the Rule 2. Section 1, the playing field. The playing field is the area within the ball may be legally played in the field and shall have a clear and abstract area within the minimum radius as a set of distance to the table and shall be an abstract area outside the foul lines and between home plate and the backstop as shown in the diagram, and should have a warning track. If a warning track is used, shall be an area within the playing field and adjustment to any permanent fence along with the outfield in the outside boundaries in a minimum of 3.65 or 12 feet to a maximum of 4.57 or 15 feet from the outfield in the side fence. In Section 2, ground or special rules. A ground or special rules is the rules establishing the limits of the playing field and may be agreed upon the leagues or opposing teams, and any obstruction or fair territory less than the minimum fence distance and set out in the distance table. If using a baseball field, the mound or should be removed and the backstop set in a prescribed distance from the home plate. Section 3, which is the official diamond and shall have lines and pitching distance at set out in the distance table. Note for this, if during the game the base distance or the pitching distance is found to be a wrong distance, or correct the error or the starts of the next inning or the continue playing the game. Section 4, which is the diamond layout. Itong diamond layout ay dito naglalaro ang ating mga player. At pag-usapan natin yung kanyang diameters or kanyang sukat. First is the 1 meter or 3 feet line is the drawn parallel to from the baseline. A starting point halfway between home plate and first base. Second is the batters or on-deck circle is a place adjustment to the end or player's bench. And the batter's box are located on each side of home plate, and the line are considered as a being with the batter's box. And the catcher's box shall be located in the rear of the batter's boxes. And each coach box is parallel to the first and third baseline, extended from the base toward home plate. And home plate shall be made from a rubber and shall be 5-side figure. And the 5 sides shall be parallel to the inside line of the batter's box. And the pitcher's plate shall be rubber also, no? And the top of the pitcher's plate shall be level with the ground. In the front line of the pitchers shall be distance from the back or point of home plate. So let's proceed to Rule 3, the equipment. And Section 1 is the official bat. Sa Rule 1 ay pinag-usapan natin yung Rule Alter Bat. And dito naman sa Rule 3 ay pag-uusapan natin yung official bat. The official bat shall be one-piece construction or buo ang pagkagawa, at meron ding multi-piece or pinagdikit-dikit, no? And may criteria sa paggawa, no? Ay meeting components must be have unique locking key to prevent uncertified or equipment combination in the field. Pag sabi nating meeting components is must be unique, no? Para ma-prevent ang further damage or may masaktan sa field, no, na matamaan na kapag nahati ang bat, no? And all component combination must be met and same standards with the piece bat with combined or a portion or a one piece bat is separated. Yun ang na dapat ang paggagawa ng bat is dapat pulido, strong, para maiwasan ang disgrasya sa laro. And the bat shall be made of one piece of hardwood or formed from the block or wood consisting of two or one piece or more one piece of wood bounded together with a adhesive or such a way that a grain direction of the piece and parallel to the length of the bat. Yun na nga, no, na ang bat daw ay gawa daw dapat sa hardwood or metal or pieces para pulido at para hindi dali masira. And ang ating bat shall be made in the metal or bamboo, plastic, graphite, carbon, magnesium, or fiberglass or ceramic, or any composite material approved by the ICF or Equipment Standard Commission. Our official bat shall be not exposed to any rivets or pens or any rough or sharp edges para maiwasan ang hazard sa laro. And shall be a safety grip of cork or tape na para mahawakan ng maigi ng ating mga player para maiwasan tapon ang bat. And our bat shall be not less than 24 cm or 10 inch long and shall be not extend more than 38.6 cm or 15 inches from a small end of the bat. Section 2, which is the warm-up bats. The warm-up bats must be also one-piece construction. Pareho lang din sa ating official bat. And shall be comply also to the safety grip and safety knob requirements for the official bat. Ang pinagkaiba lang dito ay ginagamit lang ang warm-up bats sa warm-up at hindi sa official na laro. And the section 3 is the official softball. The official softball shall be made regular, seam smooth, and concealed stitch for any surface ball, and shall have center core either long fiber kapok or mixture cork and rubber or either materials approved by the ICF or Equipment Standard Commission, and shall be covered with the finest quality chrome stamp or horsehide or cowhide made with the synthetic materials and or any materials approved by the Equipment Standard Commission. And softball used with the ICF Championship played with the must meet standard with the Equipment Standard Commission. Hindi magagamit ang isang bola kapag hindi nakapasa sa ICF or Equipment Standard Commission. Kapag hindi kasi napasa dyan, maaaring masaktan ang isang player kapag nag-deform ang isang bola. Yan ang isang dahilan na ginagawa ng ating commission. Section 4, which is the gloves and mitts. Specific na nagsusuot ng gloves is yung ating catchers, first baseman, and the fielder. And the specific length of this glove is 12.7 cm or 5-inch length. And section 5 is the shoes. All team members must wear shoes, no? Siyempre, no? And shall be made considered official in may be either canvas or leather. Ang ating shoes daw, no, ay made from canvas or leather. And the soles or maybe either smooth or have soft or hard rubber pleats. Dapat ang ating soles daw ay dapat makagrip sa lupa, no, na hindi slide ang ating players. And no hard plastic or nylon or spikes or similar to metal soil to heel plate or allowed in the division or any play. Ang ating daw nga shoes, no, dapat no plastics or either nylons or spikes na similar to metal. Ito ay bawal sa laro. Section 6, which is the protective equipment. All catchers is necessary talagang magsuot ng protective equipment para kung matamaan siya ng bola is hindi siya ma-penetrate ng bola, no, na hindi masaktan. And let's tackle the components of protective equipment. First is the face mask. Any defensive or offensive player can wear an approved plastic face mask para maprotektahan ang kanyang face. Second is the body protectors. And all catchers is in past pitch or must wear a body protectors para kung matamaan man siya, ma-elevate niya yung pain, no, or hindi siya ma-penetrate ng bola. Section 8 is uniform. All players on a team shall wear uniforms, and it is a mandatory to all teams to wear uniforms. And pagdating naman sa pagsusuot ng sombrero or caps, sa lalaki is a mandatory na magsuot sila ng caps. And pagdating naman sa babae is a optional. And sa undershirts, players may wear uniforms, colored undershirts, and it's not a mandatory naman, no. And pagdating naman sa pants and sliding pants, all players pants shall be either a long or a short in style, and players must wear uniforms a solid color pair with a sliding pants. And it's not a mandatory na magsuot sila ng sliding pants, no. Nasa sa players na yan na magsuot sila ng sliding pants. And pagdating naman sa numberings or numbers, an Arabic numbers or contrasting color at least 15.2 cm or 6 inches. A high mask must be worn on the back of all uniforms. Mandatory po na magsuot ng numbers ang players para may identity sila as a player. And pagdating naman sa names, all individual names must be worn above the numbers and the back all uniforms para makilala sila ng mga tao at ng mga umpire sa pagdating ng pagtawag ng penalty or any fouls. And furthermore, a cast is a plaster or metal or other hard substance in a final form and may be worn in a game. Rule 4, which is the coaches, players, and substitutes. The section 1 is the coaches. We all know the coaches is the mind of the team and responsible for the signing of the lineup card. Coaches must be neatly attired, including wearing of suitable footwear, and dressed in team uniform according to the color code of the team. A coach is allowed to give words assessing the team and direction of the members, especially kung sila ng bola, no, ang kanyang team ay mag-bat ng bola or mag-batting. And coaches shall be near in the first base, and one near to the third base, and they are required to remain with both feet within the confines of their respective coach box. An independent team coach or manager is eligible member of the team in the field, who may be either non-playing coach or remains in the dugout, or a playing coach who takes his place on the field. This coach may be direction or assessing the team, and coaches must be not use language to reflect negatively upon players or umpires in the game. No communication equipment allowed between the coaches on the field, and the coach are the dugout, and the coach and any players in the spectators area in the field, including the dugout, and the coaches and the players. Section 2, which is the lineup cards and rosters. Official lineup cards are to be completed and submitted to the special scorer and the official plate umpire. At bago magsimula ang game, dapat nakasubmit na sila. And players' names shall be on the starting lineup unless the players is present in the team area and in uniform. At bago makapasok ang isang roster or ang lineup, ay dapat naka-complete gear na sila. And all available players should be listed and designated place by their last name and first name and uniform number. At ang mga players ay nakalista na at ang kanilang pangalan or apelyido or number ay sa kanila talaga. Eligible roster members may be added to the available substitute and list anytime during the game. And the name of the head coach or manager must be listed on the lineup card. Dapat ang head coach and roster ay nakalista rin sa lineup card. Section 3, Players. A team shall consist of players in the following position. First position is the pitcher, which is F1. Catcher is F2. First baseman is F3. And second baseman is F4. And the third baseman is F5. And shortstop is F6. And left fielder is F7. The center fielder is F8. And the right fielder is F9. Every position is nakadesignate sa every lineup ng isang team. Section 4, which is the starting players. Pag sinabi nating starting player, ito yung mga magagaling na players ng isang team. And a starting player shall be an official with the lineup card and expected and approved by the plate umpire and the team representative in a pre-game meeting. And the names be entered in the official lineup and advance on this meeting. However, in this case of injury or illness, change may be made in the pre-game or meeting with the umpires, and listed in substitute may take place in starting players whose name in his team starting lineup. He would then be considered a starting player. Kapag ang isang player or sa isang roster is nagkasakit or nag-change or nag-injury, may nag-substitute na isang player at ang umpire ang maghusga na kung mag-change sila ng isang team o isang player sa isang roster bago magsimula ang game. And then the starting player should change and meeting could be enter the game in a substitute at any time later in the game. Next is substitutes and illegal player. A substitute may take place in a player whose name in his team lineups. In the following regulation govern with the player substitution. First is the coach or team representative on a team making a substitution shall immediately notify the plate umpire. Bago magpapasok ng isang substitute, magpermiso muna siya sa plate umpire bago mag-enter sa game. And the plate umpire should report in the change of the scorer, and the substitute is not officially in the game until a pitch has been thrown or play made. And any player may be substitute from the game during any dead ball. Bago magpasok ang isang substitute, ang game muna is mag dead ball ang bola bago pumasok, no? Any player substitute from the game shall not participate in the game again, and except a coach or the starting lineup may be re-enter once only. No, kapag ang isang substitute ay magpasok na sa isang game, bawal na siya except no, tapos pareho lang din sila sa soccer na kapag ang isang substitute ay pumasok na, bawal na mag-exchange ng player, mag-re-enter ang isang starting lineup. So that's all, no. Thank you for watching, and